some time. She was, I imagine, an old lady who took sudden violent fancies to people. She took one to me on the strength of a perfectly simple action which anyone might have performed. On leaving, she shook me warmly by the hand and asked me to come and see her. I replied, of course, that I would be very pleased to do so, and she then urged me to name a day. I didn't want particularly to go, but it would have seemed churlish to refuse, so I fixed on the following Saturday. After she'd gone, I learned something about her from my friends, that she was rich, eccentric, lived alone with one maid, and owned no less than 8 cats. "I see," said Mr. Mahon. "The question of her being well off came up as early as that?" "If you mean that I inquired," began Leonard Vole hotly, but Mr. Mahon stilled him with a gesture. "I have to look at the case as it will be presented by the other side. An ordinary observer would not have supposed Miss French to be a lady of means. She lived poorly, almost humbly. Unless you had been told the contrary, you would in all probability have considered her to be in poor circumstances, at any rate to begin with. Who was it, exactly, who told you that she was well off?" "My friend George Harvey, at whose house the party took place." "Is he likely to remember having done so?" "I really don't know. Of course, it is some time ago now." "Quite so, Mr. Vole. You see, the first aim of the prosecution will be to establish that you were in low water financially. That is true, is it not?" Leonard Vole flushed. "Yes," he said in a low voice. "I'd been having a run of infernal bad luck just then." "Quite so," said Mr. Mahon again. "That being, as I say, in low water financially, you met this rich old lady and cultivated her acquaintance assiduously. Now, if we are in a position to say that you had no idea she was well off, and that you visited her out of pure kindness of heart, which is the case, I dare say I am not disputing the point. I am looking at it from the outside point of view. A great deal depends on the memory of Mr. Harvey. Is he likely to remember that conversation, or is he not? Could he be confused by counsel into believing that it took place later?" Leonard Vole reflected for some minutes. Then he said steadily enough, but with a rather paler face, "I don't think that line would be successful, Mr. Mahon. Several of those present heard his remark, and 1 or 2 of them chaffed me about my conquest of a rich old lady." The solicitor endeavoured to hide his disappointment with a wave of the hand. "Unfortunately," he said. "But I congratulate you upon your plain speaking, Mr. Vole. It is to you I look to guide me. Your judgment is quite right. To persist in the line I spoke of would have been disastrous. We must leave that point. You made the acquaintance of Miss French. You called upon her. The acquaintanceship progressed. We want a clear reason for all this. Why did you, a young man of 33, good-looking, fond of sport, popular with your friends, devote so much time to an elderly woman with whom you could hardly have anything in common?" Leonard Vole flung out his hands in a nervous gesture. "I can't tell you. I really can't tell you. After the first visit she pressed me to come again, spoke of being lonely and unhappy. She made it difficult for me to refuse. She showed so plainly her fondness and affection for me that I was placed in an awkward position. You see, Mr. Mahon, I've got a weak nature. I drift. I'm one of those people who can't say no. And believe me or not, as you like, after the 3rd or 4th visit I paid her, I found myself getting genuinely fond of the old thing. My mother died when I was young. An aunt brought me up, and she, too, died before I was 15. If I told you that I genuinely enjoyed being mothered and pampered, I dare say you'd only laugh." Mr. Mahon did not laugh. Instead, he took off his pince-nez again and polished them, always a sign with him that he was thinking deeply. "I accept your explanation, Mr. Vole," he said at last. "I believe it to be psychologically probable. Whether a jury would take that view of it is another matter. Please continue your narrative. When was it that Miss French first asked you to look into her business affairs?" "After my 3rd or 4th